Hey, how are you? This is Rich Deep South Homestead. I hope you're having a great day. Thought to kind of give you some updates on things. We are putting up a little maintenance of your tools video today. But I wanted to stop by and just say howdy and tell you about some of the things that have been going on here this last week. First, let me say that Danny and Wanda over at Deep South Homestead had done a shout out for the channel. And I was quite honored by it because I do respect Danny and Wanda's work. They are some of the best out there, folks. And I would imagine that most of my subscribers are also his subscribers. But if you haven't checked them out, it's Deep South Homestead. Go take a look at their site. Very knowledgeable gentleman, and really enjoyed. I spoke with him yesterday, and I got to be honest with you, I felt a good connection with Danny. He's a real person who what you see on camera is what you hear in person. Good man, seems to be a very honest man, and I really enjoyed talking with him. He's quite a guy. So if you haven't been over there to take a look at his channel, definitely go over there. But like I said, I think most of my subscribers and viewers probably have visited his channel. They do great work, very knowledgeable. They have got tons of how-to videos, and I'll be honest with you, I've viewed Danny's work, and I haven't found anything yet I disagree with. So you can pretty much take a look at it and go, yeah, this is good. This is something I should follow. So stop by there and let him know I said howdy, and good man, very good man. So do follow it. Let's see, what else? Today, hopefully, this early afternoon, I'm going to get out and get some grass mowed. We have been getting rain down here, just enough rain to kind of upset you. Not enough to really soak into the ground, but enough to keep the grass too wet to mow. So I'm really hoping today I got the opportunity to get out there and get it done. You're looking a little shabby. So got that on the agenda for today. Also, when you're, I've gotten tremendous response off of this information we picked up on the GMO stuff. But I'm really not a GMO expert, and there's plenty of them out there. I've learned just enough to know that I thought it was bad before. Now I'm thoroughly convinced. So, but yeah, I'm kind of in the process of doing some more research on it, and I'm looking at it. Noisy chickens. Looking at it more from the ag business side of what's going on with that. I think most folks understand that it's not good for our health, but I'm kind of wondering what they're doing as far as our agricultural business and how that's going to work. So, eventually later on when I've got that research done, I'll present what I've got, if I got anything at all. Maybe it's just one group, who knows. Anyway, what else? I really have the need to tell folks you need to start paying attention to the quality of the advice you're getting out here, because I have really seen some things getting kind of off the wall. Some advice that is not really good advice at all. And pay attention. They say that you want to get 2 or 3 opinions on just about anything, and it's a good idea on homesteading. Because, folks, some folks are out here doing it and living off their land and taking care of their families, and some are not, but they're pretending to. Watch out for the pretenders. They can give you a lot of bad information very quickly. So, and I think I've said this before, look around, see what they're saying, compare it to what other ones are saying. You do do trust and that they have provided you good information, and take it from there. Be a wise consumer, even on information coming at you through the internet. Let's see, around here we have got chickens are doing real good. I had, it looks like the cuckoo Marans have finally started laying. Yay! Which means the other ones shouldn't be far behind, and we can start getting them divided up into their breeding pairs, and once we start seeing what their production's like, and get them busy, so that by early spring we're in very good shape for chicks and so forth. What else? Cattle. I told you that I had spoke with Danny from Deep South Homestead, and we were in a very good conversation. I was truly enjoying myself, and I look up, and Bella, bless her head, she was scratching her head on one of the gates and hooked the chain to the gate in her halter. And as she lifted up her head, the chain fell off. And next thing I see is the gate opening up. And so it was I had to cut the conversation short, because when that gate came open, let me tell you something, that girl was making a beeline for the garden. She was like, okay, fresh veggies. And so I had to get off the phone very rapidly and haul out there and grab her before she hit the garden. Yeah, cows, you gotta love them. Totally by accident. She was just scratching her face on the gate. But, yeah, lifted that chain up and out she came. Part of the fun of livestock, folks. They do escape from time to time. You know, gate blows open in a storm or whatever, and suddenly you find out you've got livestock running amok. It happens. It's part of it. If you're new to homesteading and haven't gotten into livestock yet, brace yourself. Here you go. Some of the fun of it. I think I've got a video out there of a goat we had tethered down to clear the ditch, and that little thing was forever getting herself tangled up. But I just had to move her down into where she couldn't tangle on anything. But, you know, it happens. It's part of the fun of livestock. And forewarn you folks, when you're dealing with livestock, don't sit back and go, well, you know, it takes me 2 hours to feed and water the animals. And then, you know, put yourself some sort of set in concrete schedule after that. Always allow yourself a little extra time, because trust me, stuff happens. You know, inevitably, if you're in a hurry or you have an appointment or you have to get somewhere, you go out to feed your chickens, and, you know, 2 of them run between your legs and they're out. And you got to go round up chickens. And then try to get it done fast enough to where you can get back to your appointment. So allow yourself a little time. Homesteads are not like a job. Although you will work your tail off, you will find that, you know, you're on their schedule, not yours. You're on nature's schedule, not yours. So try to plan accordingly. We've had some great comments, and I really appreciate a lot of them. It's good hearing from you folks. Don't ever, you know, think that it would be an inconvenience. Just if you've got a question, and I don't care what it's about, other than, you know, I'm not going to talk to you about what stocks you should invest in, because trust me, I don't invest in stocks at all. Okay, so I'd tell you none. So I wouldn't be a good one for helping you out on your mutual fund decisions. But if it has to do with farming and homesteading and livestock and things of this nature, if I don't know, I'll point you in the direction of somebody that does know, or I'll go find you the answer. So, you know, we want to try to make sure that you know exactly where we're at and what we're doing. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, little tractor broke down on me yesterday. Chickens are running amok today. So, and I'm hoping it's not what it looks to be, but it looks like I may have blown a head gasket, which, boy, guess what? You're going to get to really see a how-to video on that one of how to disassemble a tractor engine and put it back together again. So I'm hoping to have my new camera equipment by then. Not new. I'm actually looking at, I put out in the video where I was thinking about monetizing the site. And I've decided that if I can find some decent used equipment that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg, I'm probably going to pass on that. Because I don't really want this channel to be anything more than really public service, you know, so that you can rest assured that I'm not out here trying to get 10 million views and, you know, willing to give you some bad information to do that. Instead, we want to just give you the facts and let you know what's happening here and let you know what works for us and let you know some things that doesn't work for us. And, you know, just to help you further your knowledge base. One of the things that Danny and I had talked about, and we were pretty much in agreement on, is we really need you folks that are getting into homesteading. Boy, knowledge is everything, but we both have run into folks who, they get out and they look at the YouTube channels and they read and they, you know, do all these things, and they have it here. They have it in their heads. But let me explain something to you, and I think most of us old-timers would agree on this. Until you put your hands to it, you don't know how to do it. And you're going to mess up. And then you're going to have to try again next time, and you'll probably mess up a different way this time. Experience comes from a series of mistakes. That simple. You'll find out that, oh my gosh, you know, the back to Eden garden doesn't work in my particular area like with us. I've got too many fire ant mounds around here, and when I've tried it, they all moved into my garden. Not a good thing. So, you know, I'm trying other products going down, leaves and hay and things of this nature to try to get the same result without actually using the wood mulch. They seem to really like that wood mulch. So, you know, what works here may not work for you. Like with the back to Eden garden, I was totally thrilled with it. I thought it sounded like a great way to go. Turned out it wasn't for my particular farm. You're going to find that too. You're going to get into things and find out that, wow, it works for everybody else. It should work great here, and you do it and find out, no, it sure didn't work. And that's because every piece of land is different. I mean, I can drive a mile in either direction and find conditions that are different from what I'm dealing with here. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're studying this stuff. You have to get out there and give it a try. If you haven't got a homestead yet and you're just looking to boost up your skill levels, start in with gardening. Okay? Start with gardening. Canning. Putting up preserves. Learn to bake bread. Believe it or not, yours truly here can bake bread. Okay? So, and I'm not all that great of a cook. I'm kind of limited in certain areas that I do well, but I do make a mean loaf of bread. Do what you know, and here again, that's one of those situations of we don't buy a lot of bread. We make our own. And out of our bread mix, we will, we use sourdough primarily. But out of that, we'll make cinnamon rolls and, you know, all sort of things. So there's a lot you can do just by getting in there and experimenting. And will you mess it up a little bit the first couple of times? Sure you will. Did you give up on walking the first time you stood up as a baby? It's a learning process. It's a step at a time. The important part is get out there and start taking those steps. I can't overstress this enough, is the fact that until you do it, and do it enough times to where you become very proficient at it, you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you have to, where suddenly, you know, grid's gone down or, you know, whatever, and suddenly you're having to feed your family, and now you're starting your first garden. If that's the case, you're probably going to starve to death, I'll be honest with you. Because you're going to get into it and find out, number one, it takes a lot of food to feed a family for a year. And that's what you're growing for. I mean, you're not going to, middle of December, say, hey, well, depending on where you live now, it could happen some places, but the middle of December, you're not going to be able to run out and go, we need more corn, let's go plant it. Not going to work. Okay, so you have to make sure that you plan for enough corn to take care of your family. So these are things to start thinking about, start being aware of. Build that skill set. Without your skills, and it goes for anything, taking care of your tools, taking care of your equipment, being able to make repairs on your house and your barns and so forth, you're going to need to be able to do that, folks. Either that or you're going to be spending a lot to contractors, and you really don't want to do that either. So that would, I guess, be my tip for today. Start practicing, and that's what it is. It's just practicing. And just when you think you've got it perfect and really got it mastered, don't be surprised if Mother Nature steps up, slaps you down, and goes, it's just a reminder I'm still in control. Keep that in mind. It does happen. You may be doing everything right, and it can still go very, very wrong. That's why have contingencies. Okay, you'll see a lot of folks who don't plant one huge garden, depending on the acreage they have. A lot of times you move them around to where you got a garden over here and you got a garden over there. You pick different positions on your land. Like I've got one back in a dog leg of our property, and that is primarily because it is surrounded in a U shape by old growth timber, and inside, but yet it gets in the center of this dog leg. It gets good sun. For most of the day, it has sunlight. But when you look at the fact that most of our weather comes out of the north in the winter, and the south and southwest in the summertime, that's when you're going to get your hard winds and blah, 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 blah. Well, this dog leg back there is protected by trees on those three sides, to the north, to the south, and to the west. So that's kind of the backup spot. If things go really wrong, I still have that in reserve. So keep it in mind. Start planning. If you didn't put in a garden this year, you sure better get out there and start working your soil up right now. Start tilling, start getting it turned. You want to destroy it because on a first startup garden, you want to really tear up that, that root structure of the plants that are living there right now. Otherwise, they will become your worst nightmare come spring. And keep turning it, hit it and hit it and hit it. As soon as weeds start coming back up again, while they're little bitty tiny things, fire up the tiller and hit them again. And keep doing that till you can go 35, 40 days without seeing anything stick its ugly head out of the ground out there that isn't something you planted. So start utilizing what you have. A natural disaster can hit anybody at any time, and even like localized disasters can be tough. If we had a large regional disaster, well, we've seen that the government doesn't respond to natural disasters very well either, and you may be on your own for a bit, folks. So start planning, start preparing, start putting back. If you've got a garden in this year, get the cannon. Make sure you preserve what you have. Don't give it away to neighbors because, I've got so many tomatoes. I'd make some stewed tomatoes and some sauces and even ketchup. There's recipes out there to make your own ketchup, and it's pretty good too. So there's a lot you can do. Don't just give them away until you give away from your excess. And if you don't have your food stocks built up to take care of your family in an emergency, then you don't have extra, folks. And you need to, we always share some of our stuff with no matter what. But it's a good idea to concentrate and focus very heavily on making sure that your family is prepared and will not go hungry in the case of a major disaster. And look at your water situations and so forth. There's a lot of sites out there on being prepared. Take a look at the information. It's very possible. Don't get caught standing there going, man, I wish I'd have been prepared for this. Be prepared. Start taking care of your family. Anyway, I don't want to get too long. I've got a bunch of stuff to do. I'm going to try to get out there. I've got one little short video on tool maintenance to take care of, and then I am going to get on getting the grass cut. So, thank heavens. Looks like today will be the day. So you all have a wonderful day, and kind of put that in the back of your mind. It's time to get your hands in the dirt and start learning some of this stuff. And if you've got your hands in the dirt, God bless you. But keep building your skill sets. You folks have a wonderful day. This is Deep South Homestead.